And that was the second time that Mike caught crabs. And good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 574. Sorry about that. Good morning, fellas. How you guys doing today?
Better now. A lot less itchy. Not a lot of itch now, so I'm doing good. Doing good. Thank you for recommending that special shampoo. I really appreciate it.
I was gonna say, did that shampoo do the job for you?
It did. It did. You know.
I had some left over from the first time that I had it. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the two Dum Yinzers. I got a lot to go over today. I got to be honest with you. Here we are midweek. It is hump day. I do want to say welcome back.
Hump day.
Um, I want to start off by one thing here. Sheets, it was announced yesterday. Sheets now delivers beer. Sheets delivers
What?
beer. Yeah. I think that this is interesting, especially because Pennsylvania has certainly been one of the last states to move forward with a lot of things. And here we are. Here we are. We got beer. We could listen. When I was a kid, and I guess I sound like one of these people, right? One of these people when I was a kid that would tell me these stories that started out with when I was a kid. But when I was a kid, you didn't get anything delivered to you. There was nothing. You couldn't. The only thing that you could get delivered to you whenever I was a younger person was pizza.
Yeah, that was about it. Now you can get everything.
And that was literally, that was it. That was literally, and that was because what pizza places did. That they were, they delivered pizza. Now you could get beer delivered right to your front door, which I think is amazing. I think why not? I mean, here we are, 2024. Why is Pennsylvania still so far behind in a lot of things? But guys, there you have it. If you
I
want
like it.
beer delivered to you, Sheets will do that for you now.
I like it. I love it. It's the way it should be. I don't want to leave my house for anything
Yeah.
unless it's to go out in my yard. Other than that, no. Just no.
Now I wonder. Now, of course, when you order food, like through an app, and there's different fees and things like this, and it adds up, and your meal ends out costing a little bit, cost you a little bit more. But beer, is that worth it? I mean, Mike, you're getting beer at the end of the day. No matter what, no matter how much this beer ended up costing me through delivery, you still got a buzz. You're still drunk, and sounds like a win-win.
Yeah, like at that point, it's probably going to cost you the same as much as going to a bar after, like you said, delivery fees and tip. But you're already at home. You
Do
don't
you
have to
like
worry
this?
about get. Yeah, I like it. That's something cool. Like definitely, I would probably use say if I'm drinking
Yeah.
at the house and I run out. Oh man, I really want to keep drinking. I'm not gonna drive, so hell yeah, DoorDash it up or delivery fee it up, whoever from, and bring me my beer. And you're going through Sheets, get some mozzarella sticks too. Have a
See,
nice
they know
evening.
what's up. They're not
Yeah,
dumb.
no,
They know everybody goes there when they're done
yeah,
drinking. So now let's
just
solve
bring
the
it to
problem.
you.
Let's
Yeah,
let's take it to them.
yeah, I like it. That that's less people on the road drinking and driving, and yeah, heck yeah.
How many people in your life do you think that you've passed that were that
Oh,
okay, well, here's the thing. You say drinking and driving and people getting killed, and just never in my life I've never seen anybody get killed by a drunken driver, and I was never involved in an accident. I'm sure now that I mentioned it, I'll probably die in an accident tomorrow. But how many people in your life do you think that you've passed and crossed paths with that had killed somebody? Because a lot of times with a lot of these situations, because I know a couple murders in a couple towns over where within the past 20 years, the guys actually got out and they're out living life and everything. How many people do would you think that you pass in your lifetime that has killed somebody?
it's you would think it maybe.
I mean, I'm sure it's
Hmm.
low, but it's something. There's a number, you know what
Yeah,
I
there
mean?
has to be a number. Yeah,
Or an accidental or a
yeah,
self defense when they were 11
or a serial killer that you just don't know about.
or a serial killer. Just imagine you pass. I don't
That could
know.
be a lot of people. That could be a decent amount of people.
How many people you pass in your life you just cross
Yeah.
paths with.
Well, that's like let's take this a step further. How many houses that you drive by? How many people do you think have locked up in their basement? You think about it.
I've never thought about
You go
that.
through a neighborhood, there has to be at least one house with someone locked in the basement there.
All right. That sounds like you got the house,
Well, it's
but
just it is
anyway,
what it is.
this really
But no,
stemmed.
like yeah, once you start thinking about that, at least thinking about this and that, and yeah, that's mm.
Or how
Because
many people have you passed in your life that will kill somebody one day that at that
oh
time
yeah,
they never
there's
knew
a
they.
yeah, you've at least passed someone who has killed someone. You at least passed someone who will kill someone.
I got punched in the face by a guy that killed somebody.
Hey, at least he only punched you.
Oh, you're damn right. When we were, I don't know, probably a mid teenager. We used to go to this under 18 dance club up here,
Uh-huh.
and when we went one time, we came outside and we were all waiting, and it was just a big crowd of people waiting when the thing was over. And this dude, he ended out he punched me because I was a white dude. He was in this group of black guys, and he punched me right in the side of the face. Well, anyway, a couple years later, he was paid by another dude to kill that dude's parents so they could collect the insurance money.
Yeah, yeah, I remember you telling me that off air.
And
Yeah.
they all got arrested and they all went to jail for a long time. But I do notice that I see two of the people active on social media and that were involved, the two gunmen. As a
Mm-hmm.
matter of fact, the guy that paid them to have his parents knocked off, which they did, they killed both of the parents.
Oh wow.
And the dude, though, the dude's parent, he's still, as far as I know, he's still locked up. But the gunmen
Yeah.
themselves,
Gunman.
they're out on the street. So
So yeah, let's talk about them more.
mm,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
it's fascinating,
It is. It is.
especially because they're the one that they're the ones that pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
the ones that are out. Well, that's a somber way to start the show.
That is true, man. That this one a very turn.
Can we talk about how bald Mike is?
Hey, it's Derpy, Derpy. I got listen. I gotta get to you. And look, are you smiling? See, sometimes
Yes.
I could tell. I could tell what Derpy's doing by his look at his mouth. Now, there's been speculation, Derpy, that you've been at the Anthrocon. Uh, Good morning, Brian. You were at the Anthrocon for the Furbies. What do they call them? Like the Flurbies for the past week and a half.
Furries.
The Furbies.
Furries. We are gonna get you hooked on phonics, man, to help you with your enunciation of words. Because
And
my
the
lord.
speculation, I mean, I think somebody on the board yesterday said that you were a furry, and there's been speculation that that's where you've been because obviously, I think all the evidence points back to this being what you're into. I mean, look at you, of course.
Oh,
Derpy, are you into that kind of stuff?
no.
See,
What are
Derpy sees this right here, and he just gets. Does this
does that does
does
that
this
background do
excite you?
anything for you,
Does
Derpy?
that little character do anything for you?
I can't even see anything.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
But
Derpy's screenshotting the screen as we speak right now. He'll use that image for later.
but that has been the speculation, Derpy. A lot of people think that you have been that Hollywood Derpy has made his way to downtown Pittsburgh for the Anthrocon and the Flurbies, and that's what the general public thinks right now, Derpy. So, you're not into that?
No.
Okay, just double check.
Denial's not just a river in Egypt, Derpy. It's okay. This is a safe space. You can tell us. We won't judge you. We'll make fun of you.
Anyway, Pirates back on track last night. They get the Brewers in game 1 out of 3. Uh, they're really starting to piss me off. And after watching a 14-2 Pirates win, I think your understanding why they're starting to piss me off. Their
Because they're
last
winning.
six. Well, here's the thing. I say just like it's an easy thing. They got to find a way to become more consistent because let me tell you, over the past 6 games, the 3 games that they won, they scored 14 points, 12 points, and 8 points. 14, 12, and 8. That's 34 runs. In the other 3 games of those 6, they scored 2 runs, 2 runs, and 2 runs. I'm not saying find a way to score 10 runs a game. However, you see what the trend is here. You see you score 2 runs, you're not going to win. You're not going to win many baseball games. This is why they're pissing me off because they're good enough. Last night shows you they played the best team in the division, who's out by a bunch. and the Pirates manhandled them. They out hit them 11-6. They hit 5 home runs. They just had a 7 home run game on Friday night against the Mets. They managed to win 12-2, up their record to 44-47. Meanwhile, the Brewers dropped to 53-39. I want to talk about the pitching, but Mike, I got to talk about this hitting first.
Yeah.
On the offensive side of the ball, Brian Reynolds, the all-star Brian Reynolds, he's no longer big stacks to me. He's the all-star. He's B-Ray. He's doing what he had to do, Mike, to lose that the big stacks nickname. And big stack sounds good, but you know the context. It was
Yeah, it's a negative. It's a negative.
It's a negative. So Brian Reynolds goes 2 for 5, scores 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 1 home run. The all-star Brian Reynolds, I'm sorry. Rowdy Tellez goes 2 for 4, 2 runs, 1 RBI, 1 home run. That's his 100th career home run, Rowdy Tellez. Jack Sawinski goes 2 for 5, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and a homer. Joey Bart hits a grand slam. That's 3 grand slams in 5 days for the Pirates. Bart 1 for 4, 1 run, 4 RBIs, 1 homer. Josh Palacio just coming to the team a couple days ago. He hits a home run, 1 for 5, 1 run, 1 homer, 2 RBIs. Nicky G goes 2 for 4, run and a ribby. Key Brian Hayes gets a hit and a run. And then Taylor and Triolo both go 0 for, but Taylor managed to get on by way of walk and scoring. And Triolo somehow got on because he has a run as well. But the sixth sixth inning really started it off for these guys. Again, this team looked like it could be a dangerous team in the playoffs. What is it, Mike, that collectively turns off and on the switch to this Pirate team being a good team one day and being a very bad team the other day? And I think we talked about it a little bit earlier off the air. I got a thought of what it could be, but I'm going to let you answer first, Mike. Let me make sure there's nothing here that I want to cover before you do jump into that. But Bart, that's been Mike. That's been his second grand slam since he's been with the Pirates this season. He's only been here since the May, and he's already hit 2 grand slams here. There's no doubt in my mind that I want Joey Bart behind the plate as much as possible.
Me too. He's
especially now that it's hot and you're trying to get people breaks.
Yeah, he's our best offensive threat behind the plate, and that's what we need. We need offensive support. Outings like this, where we won 12-2, we won 14 runs against the Mets or something along those lines, and then we come out against the Mets in the next 2 games, struggle to score 2 runs. So to me, that's just showing just how inconsistent they are. And I've been talking about the Buccos all season long. They're just a wildly inconsistent team, and this is the results that you will see from them. Like when they're on, they can have a really, really good offense. I'm not expecting them to score 12 runs a game, but 4, 5, 6 runs a game. They have that type of threat, but they need everyone clicking at the same time. And they only have a few players on the team that are consistently hitting game in, game out. And that's the problem with the offense is consistency. And they're not as deep as the pitching staff. Where you can throw out, Jared Jones, Keller, and Mustache and Falter. That's a nice 1, 2, 3, 4. We're in our batting order. There's holes still up and down this lineup, guys that are very inconsistent. So to me, that's the problem right there is consistency on the offensive end. Michael A. Taylor, he's only one 0 for 3 again after he had a couple 2 for 4s, 1 for 3 outing. He's back to not doing anything. Same thing with Triolo. We're only getting Sawinski, he had another nice night at the plate, but the next time he's out there, he's probably going to go 0 for 5 or 1 for 5. So to me, it's offensive consistency with this lineup. When they're hitting, they can hit with just about anyone, but they can't do it well enough and consistently.
Let me give you a couple more numbers, Mike. Over the past 6 days, I'm going to refer to these past 6 days because it's a good point to start what I'm going to say. So just pay attention. Over the past 6 days, they certainly shrunk that margin in their point differential. Remember, they were like 36 runs under in the point differential for the season.
Yeah.
They're only 13, like 13 points, negative 13 points right now. That's amazing, being that they were 30 something, 10 days ago. A game where you score 14, a game where you score 12, a game where you score 8 is certainly going to help. Um, Also, they are 2 games under 500 at home, 1 game under 500 on the road.
Hmm.
So let's just say, and let me say on the record, I don't think the Pirates are going to win tonight. I just don't. But if they win today, this team will be 500 on the road, which is exactly what you want. Now you got to
Yes.
find a way to get some more wins at home. But if you're trying to figure out where this team is in the grand scheme of things, there we are. I'm going to give you a rundown of the division. The Brewers are at the top, of course. St. Louis is up to 4 games. They're only 4 games out of first place, the Cardinals. Second place, or third place, I'm sorry, is the Pirates. We're 8.5, which we were 10 and 11 games out. Cincinnati's 9 and Chicago's 10. Pirates 3 games out of the wild card spot. So again, you win this game, which again, I'm going to go on record and say I don't think it's going to happen. And then you get Paul Skeens tomorrow. And then after Paul Skeens, you get a very, very, very poor playing Chicago White Sox team. Again, I'm not saying we're anything great, but this is a team that Chicago White Sox that is very beatable.
Very much so. We like if we can put a nice little run together, like you said, we're creeping back up there, and they're showing if they can get that offense going and pitching going, they could do a little damage in the postseason. But they gotta lock it up this second half. They need to be more consistent. That should be their theme. It's just being consistent because once that happens, good things will come with this team.
They're up to 14th on the team or in the league. I'm sorry, overall with home runs. They have 97 home runs as a team. A couple more they'll hit the century mark, but they're the 14th best team, which is the halfway point. So again, you ride this this mediocre team a little bit. And as I said, if let's just say they win tonight, and then you get Paul Skeens, and then you get Chicago, and you get a little momentum going into the All-Star break. Then you have to consider buying. You have to consider being a buyer at the end of the month. At the end of the month, of course, is the trade deadline. You win, more games in this series than we give them credit, more than we thought they were going to. Let's just say they win out, and they're not going
Yeah,
to. They will be 49 and 47 if, in fact, they would win out up to the All-Star break. And again, these are big ifs.
big ifs, especially
But
with this team.
if they would beat the Brewers, they would, and then beat the White Sox, they would, win these next 5 for the break. They'd be 49 and 47, which I'm sure would have them somewhere a lot closer to that wild card spot that we're 3 games out of right now. And of course, it would move us closer in the division. And again, you got to start thinking, we're going to buy, we're going to sell. Philly's the first team out of the gate after the All-Star break for the Pirates. I'm sure we'll struggle in that, but after that, you're not going to play Philly many more times. So again, I'm speculating, I'm dreaming, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, dreaming. But that's about all we can do with the Pirates is dream because like I read yesterday from the article, like or do they have the money to spend or don't they? Like who's telling the truth? Is
All
Bob
right,
Nutting telling the truth, or were the unnamed sources in the front office telling the truth?
all right. So here's my theory: they have no ability to get a guy on base and move the guy around the pads.
No,
It's not in the DNA of this team. Which, in my opinion, it comes down to the coaching because you're the one that puts it together. uh, you know, but you don't see this team get a guy on the base pads, get him around the pads, bunt maybe, hit and run, whatever it is. It's always all or nothing. In this team, if you get guys on, they're going for the long ball. They want to hit that home run. They want to be the big and you're just not that team. You're the Pirates. You
no.
got to figure out each and every little tiny way that it could take to win a baseball game, and you got to do that. That's why this team isn't consistent, Mike. They're not serious to they're not they're not taking that part of the game serious. And you got to be a good team, you got to do a little bit of everything
Yeah.
well. And that is
Like,
one thing they definitely don't do well. You get a guy on, you don't feel comfortable. Even if you have a guy in a scoring position as a Pirate fan, you don't feel comfortable that that guy is going to score. When you're
no.
watching another team and you're playing Milwaukee and they get a guy on second base and you're like, ah, crap, we're probably going to, give up this run somehow. You don't feel that with the Pirates. You don't feel that
No.
the Pirates could ever get, I don't feel that they could ever get the guy in. And if they don't hit a home run, it usually doesn't happen.
No, it's that's just old school station to station baseball that a fundamental of the sport that this team struggled with, with a lot of other fundamentals as well. And it is frustrating because all they want to do is hit the long ball. Yeah, chicks dig the long ball. The long ball is fun, but still you got to play smart situational baseball. And once again, situational baseball, the manager does not have the feel for the game, even though he's been around it his whole life. And it's grubbing off on the team. They just want to hit the long ball, but no, you have to be smart, man. Drive, get one or two guys on, and you can just keep an inning going because it feels like it's easier to generate runs once you have guys on base. It feels like it's harder to get you out, and runs will keep coming and keep coming. You can build momentum with that in that half inning and just keep knocking guys around the bases.
Brian Reynolds passed Bobby Bonilla.
Oh,
He has with 115 home runs as a Pittsburgh Pirates switch hitter, passes Bobby Bonilla on the list. Brian Reynolds does. Pirates play, Mike. They play. When I got to talk about the pitching a little bit.
let's talk about
So,
the pitching.
so Fleming gets the start, and I thought, oh, this is going to be a disaster. He's just come on, just not a starter. This guy. Fleming comes in, pitches one inning, gives up no hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, and no strikeouts in his one inning. So they do make the right call. They yank him after one. They put Quinn Priester in, who I was really unsure how he was going to perform. He comes in, has a great day. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts for Quinn
Yeah.
Priester.
Yeah, it's not an understatement to say that's probably his best pitching performance ever at the major league level. Even before you got to the strikeouts,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's like his best performance ever.
And then Dennis Santana comes in the last 2 innings to wrap it up. He has 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, and 4 Ks. I'm happy with Priester. He's somebody that we should be able to depend on in this situation. He's just usually not. Now he's back off of his injury, off his rehab. He pitched a great game again. I really didn't see this coming in a million
No,
years.
a lot of people did not see it coming. Like in the comments on Pirate Twitter, that everyone's like, "Oh God, this guy's pitching. Oh God, look out,
Right, it's
look
usually a
out."
disaster.
Yeah,
And again,
and
this isn't the White Sox. This is a first place Milwaukee team who's played well all season. Like this
yeah,
team has 53 wins at this
yeah, and
time.
that we struggle against,
Mm.
historically struggle against the Brew Crew. So it was nice to see from Quinn Priester.
And I did look up that the Randall Simon incident we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about the other day when he smacked the sausage over the head. It was 0-2. Where the hell have
20,
I been for 20
22.
some years?
I know it doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
My God. Hmm. So there you have it, guys. That is the pitching performance of the Pittsburgh Pirates. They play today, game 2 of 3 at 8:10 this evening. Probable pitchers are Martin Perez for the Pirates. He comes in with a 1-4 record, 4.85 ERA, and 52 strikeouts on the season. Tobias Myers for the Milwaukee Brew Crew coming with a 5-3 record, 3.52 ERA, and 56 strikeouts on the season. Tomorrow we have Paul Skeens versus Aaron Savale, and that'll be a 2:10 game, early game tomorrow. You know what? That's what I wanted to say. Brewers games ain't that bad to watch when that stupid Bernie the Brewer's not running around sliding on the sliding board. All the things that happen when they're doing well and you're the losing team that just kind of irritate you because you're there and you just don't want to be there because you're losing. Those things ain't that they don't bother you that bad when you're winning, especially when you're winning
Yeah.
12-2.
Oh yeah, because that stupid little Brew dude isn't running around. Yeah,
I hate that little
I
Brew dude.
hate the Brewers. I always have.
Yeah.
The only good thing about the Brewers was you get to every once in a while listen to Bob Uecker. That was about it.
Do you know when I was a little kid, the Brewers were in the American League?
They were?
Uh-huh. Back, yeah. Oh yeah, back in the day when I was a kid, the Brewers were an American League team.
I don't remember. Well,
And
you are older than me, like substantially.
that yeah. And then the expansion teams started coming into Rockies, your Marlins, all these teams, and then things got switched. And then they moved the Brewers to the National League. But yeah, they were for a long time an American League squad. But Mike, one thing to get excited about the game last night, which I am, but on the other hand, after the Mets and we beat the Mets 14-2 on Friday night, we came out the next 2 days and were stale and lost
Yep.
those two games to the Mets. So let's hope that don't happen. Again, get a nice start by Perez tonight, which he had a nice start last week when he came back. And then we got Skeens tomorrow. Then we'll be off to Cheyenne to play those White Sox. So fingers crossed we can win some games, Mike. I again, how stupid of me to say this.
I know.
You know what I mean? How
Yeah.
stupid? How stupid to even keep doing this? But if they win a few games, I guess I could be excited again.
Yeah, that's one of the main symptoms of Bucko fever is getting overly excited by the
Yeah.
team. We should know better.
Meanwhile, Derby's
But we don't.
Cleveland Indians, they have the best record in the American League.
Ugh.
Is that
Ugh. I don't like that. I don't like the sound of Cleveland being the best at anything.
what's funny though about baseball? Teams that generally have the best seasons don't do well in the playoffs.
No, it's the team that kind of like limps in.
Yeah. Like you think of that Seattle Mariners team that has
Oh, God.
114 wins or whatever.
The greatest regular season of all time.
And you just look back at all these teams, they have the best regular season and they just don't get. I don't know if they're out of, they're out of gas at that point. Whatever it is, they just can't do it when the postseason comes around. So hopefully that's not the case for Derpy's Guardians. But a Philadelphia Cleveland World Series would be interesting for you, Derpy, huh?
1948. That's all I gotta say.
What, did that already happen?
No, I'm just saying that's the last time they won.
Oh, interesting. Who, the Cleveland?
Yep, 1948.
Hitler was still alive, was he?
No.
What year? No, Hitler was dead.
No. The great Hitler, did the world a favor by, being a true hero and
What year did
Hitler.
he die? Well, get to the damn point. What year did he die?
God,
It was the
40
1940s.
Yeah, when did the war end? 44, 45?
44, 45.
I think
So
it was
close
like
enough.
45.
You laughed like I was
Yeah.
I was
that's when
centuries off.
But you're, hey,
Fucker.
it was 3 years though,
You
man.
fucker.
Or as some people like to say, he made it down into Argentina.
Yeah.
I
Still
bet.
alive. I seen him performing with Tupac in the
I don't think Tupac would be hanging with Hitler.
I seen Hitler and Tupac performing on a reel the other day on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh God.
Let's see. Brian says on the board, Paul Skeens requested the meet and greet with Bob Euchre, which ended up. I seen a picture of that. That's pretty cool. Bob Euchre and also Paul Skeens.
Just a bit outside.
And I think that's what the headline said. It said something like, "That wasn't just a bit outside," or whatever, but it did play to that particular line. I do recall. But let's move on. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I never when I was younger, I never knew Bob Euchre as a former Major League Baseball player. I just knew him as the announcer, the funny guy from Major League. I never knew he was, an actual Major League ball player. Then when I'm watching an old Pirate game back in the day, I'm like, why is that actor announcing for the other team? What's going on over there? My young mind was just blown.
I initially knew him because of Mr. Belvedere. There was a show on
That's
called Mr.
right.
Belvedere.
Yes,
he was the dad. And the
Yeah.
setting was actually Beaver Falls.
Yeah.
If you go back and you watch the show,
Yeah.
it was, I kid you not, Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. It was a sitcom. And it was Bob Euchre was the dad, and it was his family. And Mr. Belvedere was the family's butler.
Yes, I loved that show. I forgot about Mr. Belvedere.
But then after that, when I got closer to the 90s, I did, and whenever Major League came out, that's when you really got to know who Bob Euchre was. And just like you as a kid myself, you didn't know because we weren't alive when he was playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bob Euchre, I'm surprised that guy's still alive, to be honest, man.
Me too. He was old when he was young.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This is the way that the transactions, whatever the word I'm looking for is for this Pittsburgh Pirate team. Mike, yesterday, of course, Priester gets activated. He comes out, pitches a gem, in my opinion. Oliveris goes back down to AAA. Brule goes back down to AAA. Bednar gets a rehab uh, in Altoona. He's down in Double A. Comes out yesterday, mows a bunch of guys down, of course, because he is a major league closer and he's pitching in Double A. But he did get his work in, so he finished that up. I do believe he should be back soon. Ryan Bergucci comes. He's also in Altoona as well, rehabbing. Got some guys getting healthy. Got a lot of talk about speculation about who the Pirates could go after if they do go after people, if they are buyers at the deadline. A lot of talk about a couple of guys from the Marlins. Of course, this team isn't any good. You can see them selling prospects. Prospects is what people got their eyes on. People want your prospects. And you know what? We have our share of decent prospects. So you got to be in a good position. If you want your team to buy, they got to be in a good position. And I think these next 5 games is going to be big, Mike. It's going to be big because you want to go into that All-Star break looking like you have some life in you. If you go into the All-Star break limping, then you're kind of concerned what's going to happen. But you want to go into this break with life in you, and
you want to start peaking.
Yes.
Go on the rise going into the break, especially a team like the Pirates. My God, that is how wildly inconsistent they are. They need something nice to finish out that first half of the season, and a nice little win streak, especially against a division rival. It would be that little cherry on top.
Yes. I'm going to jump into football, guys. I have some Steeler talk today. But I want to talk to Derpy 1 second. Derpy, just 9 days. I know you're probably the most excited about this. In 9 days till the EA Sports College Football comes out.
Yes, sir.
Do you got it reserved?
I do not have it pre-ordered, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear all about it. I'm not going to play, of course. I can't wait to hear all about it. It looks awesome. And every time I see anything, it's usually pit related and it looks really cool. So I'm very excited, man. I think that this is gonna be cool. I think a lot of people couldn't wait to get this college football back out and playing it. So it's gonna be very interesting.
I can't wait for all the old guys who think they're gonna go online and curb stomp 11 and 12-year-olds. Yeah, 11 and 12-year-olds, they are built differently nowadays when it comes to video games. So all these old heads are gonna get stomped, and I'm here for it. I can't wait to see it.
I used to be so good at college football. Come on, I'll play you.
Yeah, I used to play this when I was your age. And their kids are like, this is all we play. Yeah. They're going to get curb stomped. It's going to be great.
We did other things also, like go out. So we split that up with going outside.
Yeah.
See, this is where they have the advantage.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that kid outside in years. I got to be honest.
I know. I love it. I love it when I go outside and there's no kids outside.
Kids used to be everywhere. They'd be running around.
I know, yeah, they would too. But nowadays,
kids.
Nowadays, though, too, they try and go outside and like people just yell at them and steal their skateboards and kick their bikes and call the cops on them. We're doing the exact same things we did as kids. They can't do now because adults our age and older. Hey, why are you out here?
Yeah,
poor kids. They can't win for losing.
Derpy, do you still go play outside?
Here and there.
If aliens came here from another place, they wouldn't think that we have kids, because as I said, there's kids don't go outside anymore. They just don't. They don't. I don't either, but I'm not a kid. When I was a kid, I liked being outside.
Yeah.
I like my private time as well, but
yeah,
I like to be outside.
Of course, my poor kid wants to be outside all the time. Like, dude, it's like 90 degrees with 95% humidity. We're staying where it's nice and cool, bro. You go outside, you can get some vitamin D for like 10 minutes, then we're back in.
Right. Mike, for you,
yes.
9 days till Derpy's EA Sports College Football. Mike, your big day, 86 days. 86 days. It was 87 yesterday, of course. Crosby today, 86 days till the NHL season starts. Mike, are you looking forward to the Penguins' upcoming season, or is it just starting to feel like,
it's starting to feel like for me, because I'm one of the few fans that's not excited that we get to watch Malkin and Letang retire as Penguins. I don't have that warm fuzzy feeling. I don't, so it's not as exciting to me as it once was.
You got to be in the
And it's
playoffs
not. Yeah.
to go. Not
Like,
be in the
I'm
playoffs
sorry,
for
I'm a
2 years.
spoiled Penguin fan.
That slows me down.
Yeah.
That takes the wind out
Yeah.
of my sail.
Yeah. Like, and don't get me wrong, I sat there and suffered through those Rico Fata errors, those bad teams, when Dick Tarnstrom was our best player, when we were lucky to have Johan Hedberg provide some excitement,
Moose.
moves. So yeah, I don't get me wrong. I'll watch the team, but I'm not as excited because that this team should be better than what it is because we should have moved on from guys, but we didn't. And that's what the
The future's
ownership grow.
cooked.
Yeah, it is. Well, I do like what Dubas is doing on part of this is acquiring draft picks. Yeah, they might
Yeah.
be second and third round picks, but might acquire that youth because you're going to need an infusion of youth here once these guys are retired. You at least lay that foundation for yourself or for the future GM. I like that he's putting the future. He's actually thinking about the future of this team and trying within the current constraints of the salary cap of this team because you have those bloated contracts that you have to deal with trying to put a team out there and build for the future at the same time. It's hard to do both. You have to pick one or the other, but the ownership group wants to try and win what they can with this core for as long as they can, and it's going to be hard. But answer your question in a roundabout way, no, I'm not looking forward to the season because I know it's going to be a head. I'm going to be banging my head against the wall every single game.
Well, I do know this, Mike. This time next month, we're going to be playing. I mean, there's going to be football games being played. It's going
Yeah.
to be, middle of August.
Oh, I can't wait.
So I'm gonna snap the ball over to the gridiron, Mike. A couple things right off the top. LeVar Arrington, of course, from right here, North Hills, beast at Penn State, goes on, gets drafted by the Redskins. LeVar Arrington doesn't see the Steelers as a threat to win the AFC North. I think
LeVar, I used to love you. Now I hate you.
I think all four of these teams are a threat to win the AFC North.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Mike. I don't think one team is a shoe-in. I really believe that all four of these teams. I don't know what kind of season to expect from the Cincinnati Bengals. Just coming off of what they just came off, they lost some players. But at the end of the day, Mike, it wouldn't surprise me if any of these four teams would win this division. Yeah. I mean, of course, the Browns just because they've never. The last time they won a division, I think I was in diapers. But realistically, would you be surprised to see any of these teams win this division?
No, we won it last in 2020, I believe. So it wasn't that long ago. The reason Baltimore to me is the favorite. They have the type of team that can win outside the division.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like us and the other two teams can kind of struggle in those games. Yeah, since he has a more dynamic offense than we do, but their defense isn't as good to handle the teams outside the division. I think that's where Baltimore kind of separates themselves. They're able to go out there and beat up on the bad teams that they have to play outside the division, whereas Pittsburgh and Cleveland kind of struggle against those teams. In Cincinnati, they're still the Bungles. We still see them lose games they should win. They're having trouble breaking that curse as well. And you never know how healthy Joe Burrow will be. Will this be the year he, plays a full season, or will he get hurt again? He seems to average, injury, full season, injury, full season. So he might be due for a full season.
Well,
and even Lamar gets hurt all the time.
Well, that takes me to what I'm going to say next, Mike. The Joe Burrow on top of, all right, let me just start it this way. TJ Watt claims the number one spot in CBS Sports as the edge rusher.
Yeah.
Mike, also Joe Burrow comes out and clearly separates TJ Watt with the rest of the league.
Yeah.
Saying that he's the best hands down. Do you think that the attention that TJ Watt's getting in the sense that he's good, but he's not as good as this guy, not as good as this guy, not as good as this guy? What's the motive behind that? Do you believe that people actually feel that he is not the best? Do you think that people feel that because in my opinion, my eyes have been opened. If he keeps continuing to play the way that he's been playing, he's not going to be as effective. He's not going to stop the run. He's but how far off is TJ Watt realistically, in your opinion, from being the top rusher in the league?
For me, like Myles Garrett, he's the quicker of the two. Whereas TJ Watt he'll beat you down in the long run. Where like to me, if Miles Garrett doesn't get to you quick, he can get lost in the pass block. Whereas TJ Watt, if he doesn't get to you quick, he can still motor through and get you. And Miles Garrett's better in the at stopping the run than TJ Watt because, like you said, my God, Watt hasn't been effective stopping the run since he got that sack record. But also, what separates TJ Watt though too, but he's good in pass coverage. Like that's what Joe Burrow was saying. He's like, I have to account for him dropping into coverage.
How many,
It,
Mike? I think he has two interceptions that he picked off right at the line on Joe
yeah,
Burrow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He knows. So that's a huge advantage to TJ Watt right there because you have to account for him, and in that part of the passing game, not just him, coming in trying to kill you, but you have to go, okay, is he going to drop back into coverage? Is he going to act like he's rushing and then, oh, I think I'm good and trying to, throw over there and boom, there's Watt. But, uh, I still, to me, Watt's still the best. I hate this term edge rusher because rusher is not a position. He's an outside linebacker in the 3-4. But yeah, I think he's the best. Miles Garrett's right there with him. Max Crosby's right there with them. I think if he can put it all together, I think Max Crosby might be the best. But you don't
Funny
have to
his
worry.
name never gets mentioned.
But you don't have to worry about him in the passing game.
It's funny his name never gets
I
mentioned.
I
Mike, it's
look.
always the same
He's
guys.
he's
It's
my
always
guy this
TJ.
year.
It's
That
always
eventually.
Miles Garrett.
Yep.
Max
Micah.
Crosby. Never mentioned.
I have a feeling this year Max Crosby will be the one that they start talking about to get him the defensive player of the year like they did Miles Garrett.
Interesting.
I don't think they want a run of how they had JJ Watt and Aaron Donald winning the award every single year. I think they want to start spreading that award around. And we saw it last year. They campaigned to get Miles. I think this year be the campaign to get Max Crosby or Micah Parsons.
Interesting.
But yeah, to me last year, Max Crosby was the best edge player that I saw.
Derpy, is this still on the line for you to what was the deal last year if the Steelers go to the Super Bowl, you're getting a TJ Watt tattoo?
Yes, sir.
Is it still on the table?
It's still on the table.
All right.
It's a face tattoo. A face tattoo.
Maybe he already has face tattoos. That's why nobody's ever seen him.
Maybe.
It's our policy. Mike, also one other thing that I did pick up over the past couple of days here about this Pittsburgh Steelers team. The Steelers are spending the least amount of money almost in the league on offense. However, spending the most on defense. The least on offense, the most on defense. Which one of those are going to collapse first? Is it going to be the fact that they're not spending anything on offense? Is that going to be the Achilles heel? Or is it going to be this top paid defense that should, in theory, be a top defense anyway? Which one of these are going to upset us the most in this upcoming season? The offense that's not spent enough on, or the defense that's spent probably too much on?
For me personally, it will be the defense because we're spending that much money on them. The expectations I have for them are going to be uber high.
I know. I want an 86. I want an 85 Bears.
Yeah,
defense
they need to be
paying out.
A 2000. Yeah, that 2010 that 2010 Steelers defense, 2008 Steelers defense. You have to perform at that level. You're being paid that much. The offense isn't, That's why for me it's I can criticize the offense because they're pros, they should be doing stuff, but like you said, you look at the money allocated towards this defense should not be giving up more than like 14 points a game.
Yeah.
Maybe even 12 points a game on average. So for me, the expectations are so high for the defense, and I don't think they're going to live up to them. So I'm going to be for me, it's going to be the defense that will let us down because they have to be going out there and holding teams in check.
Now, I never ever heard Derpy say a negative thing about the Steelers defense since I've known him. But Derpy, I'm going to turn to you and ask you the same question. The offense, the Steelers spend almost the least amount of money in the league on offense and the most amount of money in the league on defense. Which one of these do you think is going to end up hurting us in down the road this season? If it's one of the two, do you think it's going to be on the fact that we just don't spend enough on offense? We don't have this, we don't have that. Maybe if we spend money, we could have had this. Or is it going to be the defense that's so overpaid I think you could start from the defensive tackle position if you're going to have that conversation. But what do you feel? Is it going to be the offense, the underpaid offense, or the overpaid defense that's going to be more disappointing this season, Derpy?
You put it on the spot, Ryan.
On the spot, Derpy.
Clam Hayward. That's all I got to say. Paying too much still.
You know, I'm so frustrated with Cam. I'm so frustrated with Cam, and I don't even want to go on and on about him.
But you notice that like this fan base and the media tends to gloss over deficiencies of the defense.
Yeah,
gloss over if they have a bad game. Go, well, you know, the offense left them out there too much. It's the offense. Like if the defense can give up 35 points, and it'll be like, well, you know, the offense could have done more. It's
right.
like we're afraid to criticize the defense. Like Mel Blunt's still out there. Like Mean Joe Green's still out there. Like Palomalu's still out there. Like no, like you should be able to criticize it. Hold them accountable. This defense, they're the highest paid unit in the NFL, if not, yeah, they're the highest, I believe. Hold them accountable. Hold them to that high standard. The offense, yeah, we know it's going to be the weak link of this team. The quarterback room improved, but by how much? You know, there's still holes in that on that wide receiver core. The offensive line, there's still question marks there. So this defense is the one that's going to have to carry this team. And the expectations are so high for them, they have to live up to them for this team to be successful. And if they don't live up to them, you know, you're getting paid that much. That comes with the territory, the high expectations and the accountability.
Seen a lot of people saying that, you know what? Let me get to this next story. I think that this is hilarious, Mike. To the Chase Claypool watch. The Chase Claypool watch.
I kind of saw something. Are we going where I think we're going?
So Chase Claypool, everybody remembers Mr. Claypool. He was a former receiver here in Pittsburgh. He sends his fan some signed gear after finding out that the fan was sick with dementia.
Okay, I saw that. I didn't read anything else into it.
Okay,
so that for me, okay, that's cool. That's awesome.
Well, you're then missing the point.
Oh God,
if the fan has dementia, maybe it doesn't even realize.
That's terrible, bro.
Maybe he thinks it's somebody else. You know what I mean? And you know, Chase Claypool made this big point. He gave him all this stuff and signed autographs. And like I said, maybe the person thinks it's Antonio Brown or just somebody totally different, right?
That is terrible. That's I can't believe I'm laughing at that. The guy does something nice and we just turn it around on the port.
But what's the chances he's a big Claypool fan? Come on.
You never know. Maybe he liked to watch him in that Notre Dame and, you know, still holding out hope that he'll do well. Jesus Christ. And yeah, you got me laughing at a poor dementia sufferer. That shit ain't no joke.
Yeah, the only thing is he can't possibly be in his right mind to know that Chase Clay. You understand what I'm saying? Like he can't. If you have like the jokes,
the jokes write themselves, but you know
the joke wrote itself. Let's see. Brian on the board says the offense makes more than the numbers say. Just because Denver's paying Wilson's contract, of course, doesn't mean he's not expensive.
He's only costing us $1 million. You know, that's the only thing that matters is what the Steelers are paying him.
Last thing for the Steelers guys, Jerome Bettis and his wife, they celebrate their 18th year anniversary. Mike, he got married after he won the Super Bowl. Okay, let's put this into perspective. Let's think about how old we are. He married this lady the year that he won the Super Bowl. 06 wasn't the season; it was the year.
Yeah.
He just celebrated his 18-year anniversary. He just had 18 years of marriage since the last time we seen him play football. Does that make you feel old or what?
It does. It does.
Jeez,
my hip is starting to hurt just thinking about that, doing the math. My Lord.
18 years of marriage since the last time we seen. I was shocked. I know I know the years are starting to add up.
Oh yeah. Well, like you really
almost 2 decades since Jerome has played.
Well, real quick, at passage of time, like I was over at my buddy's house for 4th of July, and I was talking to his wife. She was like, "When did your beard get so gray?" I'm like, "I don't know. The last time you saw me was your daughter's birthday, like 6 months ago." So apparently, in that 6 months, my God, I've just gone so gray.
That's because you're an old fuck.
Well, I think it might be because of the Clam Hayward and the Pittsburgh Pirates. I should sue them all for compensation.
You
That's
should.
to the
18
stress of us.
years. 18 years since we last saw the bus play.
Ain't that crazy? He just had an 18-year marriage,
Yeah.
which for most people is a lifetime.
Yeah.
Wow. And finally, Mike, Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever, they host the Mystics from DC today at noon. This game is just underway. You want to watch Caitlin Clark continue to break and make history. Go and check her out as they host the Mystics after the big upset last weekend against the New York Liberty. We'll see if she'll be able to carry on and keep this team moving in the right direction. What's that?
Bibbity bibbity.
Bibbity bibbity. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
The2dumbyinzers.com. The2dumbyinzers.com. Over there, we got the blog. It's heating up over there. I'm spitting hot fire every Friday and Monday with the blogs. Octua. We got the merch store and we got social media links for everything for me and Ryan over there for the show over there. Go check it out. The2dumbyinzers.com. Speaking of Hawktua, you see, she got paid $30,000 to go judge a bikini contest.
Yeah,
I did see that.
For her.
I love
her. For her.
I just
make that
her.
bank. Ride that 15 minutes for as long and hard as fast
Absolutely.
as you can. Make that bank and then just
some people don't.
into obscurity. You know what?
Some people when they run into their 15 minutes, they think they're too good or they think other things in life is going to happen for them.
Yeah.
If you get a chance in life, jump on something.
Yeah, she just seems so happy-go-lucky with it too, to where hell yeah, go get it, girl.
You can't sit around. Yeah, good for her. I'm happy for her. This is the question of the day, guys. This is going to be a Grand Slam question. A Grand Slam question connected with the Pirates. Here we go. Everybody on the board play along as well. Everybody at home, here we go. Question of the day, trivia. With Joey Bart's 2 Grand Slams this season, he becomes the second Pittsburgh Pirates catcher to record multiple Grand Slams in a season. Who was the other? Let me read it one more time. With Joey Bart's 2 Grand Slams this season, he becomes the second Pirates catcher to record multiple Grand Slams in a season. Who was the other? Take a moment to think that over. We are live. We're live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. The brand new live show that we do every day. We take and we upload in podcast form over on Spotify. If you just want to listen to the show, you missed the show, or you're maybe in the gym, earbuds in the car, whatever the case may be, you could always go to Spotify and listen. Check it out. All right, guys. And Brian said on the board, he says her accent does it for me. Me too. Me too. Could you imagine living in the South where all the girls talk like that?
That'd be too much for me.
It really would. I'd go into a freaking overload. That would be crazy because you know how hot one chick is speaking with a Southern accent.
No, but then you have to deal with everyone else talking in that Southern accent.
I know.
And it's just a slow pace of life down there. I can't.
All right. Today I'm going to start with Derpy. Derpy, with Joey Bart's 2 Grand Slams this season, he becomes the second Pittsburgh Pirates catcher to record multiple Grand Slams in a season. Who was the other?
I have no idea, so I'm just going to go with Austin Hedges.
Austin Hedges, all right. Derpy, is that your final answer?
Yep.
Okay. Mike, I'm going to come over to you. With Joey Bart's 2 Grand Slams this season, he becomes the second Pirates catcher to record multiple Grand Slams in a season. I'm looking for who was the other one.
Ooh.
And if you want, stop where you are. Tell me you want a hint. Tell me you want a lifeline right now, and I'll give you guys both a hint, and I will give Derpy the opportunity to jump back in. Mike, do you want to take advantage of this lifeline?
Yeah, I'll take because I got a couple guys in mind. I'll take advantage.
1984 was the year. 1984, Derpy. I'm going to come back to you. Does that change your answer at all? 1984 was the last time that this happened.
Nope.
Okay. So we'll stick with Austin Hedges. Mike, to you, I need to know the first Pirate in 1984 who hit 2 Grand Slams in a season.
I'm going to go with Manny Sanguillen.
Manny Sanguian. Not a bad answer. Let me go ahead and lock you in place. Nothing on the board from Brian. So let me just ask the question one more time. With Joey Bart's 2 grand slams this season, he becomes the second Pirates catcher to record multiple grand slams in a season. Who was the other one? Who was the first? Brian on the board says it was not Michael McHenry. Mike says Manny Sanguian. Darby wasn't quite sure. He took a stab. He said Austin Hedges. This was, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest. This was the guy when I was a kid I looked up to and I wanted to be.
Was it Spanky?
No.
Oh, okay.
A little bit. It was before Spanky. It was after Sanguina before Spanky. But when I was a kid, this is why I did play catcher when I played Little League and minor league. Well, mainly because I wanted to have a cage over my face. So I didn't get hit in the face with the ball. But besides for that, this was the person that I did look up to. The person who hit 2 grand slams in a season for the Pirates. The other one besides Joey Bart in 1984, guys, was Tony Pena. When I was collecting baseball cards as a little kid, getting into baseball, he was the Pirates catcher. I latched to that. I liked it. I liked the equipment. I liked the the whole thing. Tony Pena was one of my first favorite baseball players ever.
Oh, I forgot about Tony.
So good job, guys. Nice, good guesses. Mike, I do want to say first of all, I brought up this hot dog eating contest a couple times over the past couple days. I never really got into it. I'm going to give you a hint today, and every day I'm going to touch a little bit more on it. Of course, the hot dog eating contest went down on the 4th of July, but on July 25th is National Chili Dog Day. The 25th, Ooh. Which is 2 weeks from tomorrow, is National Chili Dog Day. The hot dog eating contest happened over the weekend, last week. The 25th is Chili Dog Day. That is your hint of the day. So, with that being said, we will move forward, and I'll give you a little bit more tomorrow. Mike, any speculation on what the big hot dog surprise is here?
That you're going to make me eat chili dogs?
All right, that's interesting. Good guess. Derpy, what you got, man? Anything? You got anything before we take off?
Other than the college football game,
you're pretty pumped about that, huh?
Yes, I'm pretty pumped. They released the ratings.
Oh, did they? They good?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see.
All right.
Well,
I thought we
were gonna.
Go ahead.
I thought me and Mike were gonna play each other though.
I was just gonna say that it just bounced back into my memory that you guys have to play. So what, this game comes out in 9 days. So we're gonna look at the end of the month because again we do have something going on here on the 25th. I'm going to talk more about that tomorrow. But maybe at the end of the month you guys can get on Twitch or something and play it out. And
who's buying me the game?
I don't know.
Derpy.
Derpy, it's Derpy.
Derpy, man, you got to send me over some money, bro.
Derpy's buying us all the game. I do want to say thank you to everybody for hanging out, coming and hang out with us and checking us out today. We wouldn't do it without you. We appreciate each and every one of you. I want to thank everybody on the board, always keeping things interesting. Mike, what about you? Anything before we wrap it up?
I got nothing except Derpy better be sending me the money for that game. And I want the deluxe edition, Derpy. When I go buy video games, I go all out. So yeah.
You want the one where it's like all the Penn State shit on the front of the box?
No, I want the one where I get the new Madden and the NCAA all in one. So make it happen, buddy.
That's $150.
Lucky.
That's a you problem, not a me problem. I don't come to you with my problems.
Lucky Derpy's been getting his work into getting those extra paychecks to get you to help get these games. Brian on the board says Penny had one leg out. Yes, he did. He had one leg out and he kind of sat on his other leg. It was a very strange stance. You still see every once in a while a catcher will do it every now and then today. But Tony Pena was my guy. He was my guy. And then also, I don't even know if I want to say this. Gary Carter for the Mets. He was the other one. I like Gary Carter for the Mets and I like Tony Pena for the Pirates. I was just into catchers at that time. Again, I knew that I was going to be totally padded and totally protected, and that's why I love playing catcher. So there you go. There you go. Anything else, guys? Derpy, Mike, speak now. Forever hold your peace.
No, I got nothing. Good show, everyone.
Yeah, it was great show.
Mike's very bald.
Mike is very bald. Derpy straight back from Anthrocon. I like it. He always looks like a Flurby. That's what I like about that. What I like about Derpy's. But I also like how he has his mouth wide open. I can't even imagine what he's doing when his
He
mouth
got hang mouth.
Derpy got hang mouth. But guys, if that's it for you, that's it for me. Everybody have a great day. We got Caitlin's playing right now. Go check her out. The Pirates back at it tonight for an 8-10 start game 2 of 3 against Milwaukee. It is Martin Perez on the hill trying to go up 2-0 on this Brewer team and win the series. We'll be back tomorrow. First thing to talk all about that and more. Be sure to come hang out and check us out. For the 2 Dum Yinzers, we got Derpy, Mike at the Steeler Central Mobile Studio, myself, the 2 Dum Yinzers. Everybody have a great hump day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.